What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the debut album from the band Party Cannon, entitled Bong Hit Hospitalization. This is released on Gore House Productions. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Dunfermline, Scotland in the UK, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very self-deprecating, humorous, but very brutal style of death metal. Yeah. My first introduction to this band was their 2013 EP entitled Partied in Half. That EP had one of the best album covers I had ever seen. It was a dude pretty much chopped in half with, instead of guts, it's pretty much confetti or streamers coming out of his torso, and that was just insane. I love that imagery. But the music itself was something to enjoy as well. I mean, this band had put out a great multitude of demos and other sort of assorted releases, fine-crafting their sound, but once that EP came out, it showcased what kind of a band Party Cannon really was. They dubbed their style as Party Slam. Of course, adding a sense of humor to their lyrics and to their vocal stylings and to their overall song concepts. But beneath the song concepts and the silliness lied some very serious undertones. Almost a misanthropic, political sort of theme going on in certain parts of their lyrics. I almost liken this band to Chumbawamba. Of course, that's another band that has a silly, cutesy sort of approach to their music, but they had serious topics. I consider Party Cannon to be the Chumbawamba of brutal death metal, but I say that in the most respectful way possible. And of course, last year I reviewed that EP because it got more exposure. More people got to know about Party Cannon. And after a great deal of anticipation, we have the very first album under Party Cannon entitled Bong Hit Hospitalization. It's 10 tracks and it clocks in at around 41 minutes in length, and pretty much this album is a continuation of their maturity as a band, both in the terms of musicianship and songwriting, and it shows itself off quite nicely here from the minute you put this album on. It's what you would expect from a band like Party Cannon. You're going to get the best sense of musicianship to come out from a band like this, and they have a very strong sort of work ethic. They may have a very humorous, boisterous sort of quality to them, but don't let that mislead you on for their music, because this is real serious, well done brutal death metal. Just like the previous release, the music on here is very much a top-notch priority. I love the way that the guitar work on here sounds. Very awesome riff work, very good good technicality. They're a band that when they want to show it, they can bring out the technicality in the guitar playing, but they don't do it for the purpose of being show-off-ish. It's very nicely done here. I mean, songs like the opening track, Russian Zombie Smack Crocodile, and the song Jacketh versus the Exotic Crustacean, I think the guitar work on those songs are really tremendous. I love the way those guitar riffs sound. They have a very it's catchy. It gets stuck in your head, and these riffs will get stuck in your head the more you listen to them. And then you get to a song like Keg Stand By Me, just some really incredible guitar playing going on with that song, and I even think the soloing is great here too. When you get to hear the solo moments of this album, I think it really sounds nice. Like on the track Screech Even Sold His Body to Science. That's the longest song on here, but I think it's the most deepest too when it comes to the display of musical talents. I think it sounds awesome. The bass work on here is top-notch too. I love the way this bass guitar sounds. Very audible, very crystal clear from the start. This is a very well done bass guitar performance. It has just as much backing as the actual guitars do throughout this entire release. It gets pretty much equal billing, and I really think it's awesome to listen to a bass guitar like that. The guitar and bass work overall here is very well done, very well produced. I love the way it sounds. It doesn't sound too clean or too too rambunctious. I think it works out very well here. Moving on to the drums. The drums seem to have made an improvement as well. The drumming on the last release sounded really awesome too, but the drums on here sound much more fun. I love the way that these drums sound. A lot of great fills, a lot of blast beats, very high emphasis on snare tone. Of course, some people have their mixed feelings about loud snare tones, but I think for Bong Hit Hospitalization, the snare tone sounds perfect. It sounds perfect for their style and perfect for their quality. You get right along into it, and you will begin to appreciate how hard of a worker this drummer is. I think he really does tremendous things here with the drums here. Very well paced, not too fast or too slow. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. And when it comes to the vocals, I'm really liking the vocals this time around. I think the vocals are very well worded, very well done. Of course, you get the humor that this band knows how to bring, but of course, you also get the topics that are being discussed here. I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm kind of disappointed that the lyrics were not included on this album, because I really loved the lyrics on Partied in Half. It made me want to delve deeper into what they were talking about. I kind of wish there were lyrics in the booklet, but that's really just a small complaint out of an album that I don't feel has much to complain about. But I'm pretty sure that they say and do the things that they talk about here very well and nicely here. I think the vocal variety is great. I love the low growls, the high-end sort of mid-style screams. Going back to the song "Interested Is Not the Word," there's a moment in the song where it almost feels as though they're reverting to more groovy gore grind sort of territories, like Rampa Prop or Rectal Schmegma or something like that. I'm picking up a groovy gore grind sort of vocal style on that track. But vocals are great. I really love the way the variety that's being presented on this album. So overall, I think this is another really amazing effort from Party Cannon. I'm very happy to hear this band continue to grow and get better and better with time. I'm very optimistic for their future and what will be soon to come from a band like this. They really bring out the good qualities of slam styles and brutal death metal. I love that about Party Cannon. So, excuse me. If I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Russian Zombie Smack, Crocodile, Jack vs. the Exotic Crustacean, Keg Stand By Me, which by the way has an awesome Teen Wolf sample. That's one of the best parts of that track. Interested Is Not the Word, and Screech Even Sold His Body to Science. Some great song titles, some great music overall. So I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will link you to the Gore House Productions Bandcamp page where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can buy it digitally, and it is also available on CD. There was also a limited tin version, and there are also t-shirt and other available options to get more Party Cannon merch. They recently completed a U.S. tour with epicardiectomy and parasitic ejaculation, so if you happen to see them live, of course you can get the idea of what kind of a great live band these guys are. They know how to have fun. So again, the album is Bong Hit Hospitalization by Party Cannon. This is released on Gore House Productions. Go check this out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Very impressive debut, and I think the best is still yet to come from a band like Party Cannon. So if you've happened to heard this album, let me know what you think. I'd like to have a great discussion with you about it. So support Party Cannon. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Army Ho out.